Time doesn't flow the same for everyone, and I'm about to prove it using the most mind-shattering physics experiment ever. Right now, as you read this, you think time passes at exactly 1 second per second for everyone in the universe. You feel each moment ticking by at the same steady rate. But here's the truth that will demolish everything you believe about time itself. Your clock is wrong, and so is everyone else's. Time moves differently for you than it does for someone else, depending on how fast you're moving and where you are in a gravitational field. This isn't philosophy, this isn't speculation. This is experimentally verified physics that breaks your most basic assumptions about reality. But it gets worse, much worse. Every time you move, even when you walk across the room, you're traveling through time at a different rate than someone sitting still. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Feynman revolutionized our understanding of this disturbing truth in his 6 not-so-easy pieces. What you call time is actually just one dimension of a unified 4-dimensional spacetime that gets warped and stretched by motion and gravity. The watch on your wrist right now? It's not measuring some universal absolute time. It's measuring your personal relative journey through the temporal dimension of spacetime. You don't just exist in time. You travel through time at speeds that depend on your motion through space. But wait, there's something even stranger about how time actually works. In 1971, physicists Hafele and Keating put atomic clocks on airplanes and flew them around the world. When they compared these flying clocks to identical clocks that stayed on the ground, something impossible had happened. The flying clocks were running slow, not broken, not damaged. Running slow because time itself had passed more slowly for the moving clocks. The eastbound flights gained 273 nanoseconds. The westbound flights lost 40 nanoseconds. Tiny amounts, but measurable with atomic precision. This wasn't a malfunction. This was proof that time is flexible, stretchable, and completely different from what your everyday experience suggests. But here's the kicker: this time dilation is happening to you right now, every moment of every day, in ways you've never realized. The GPS satellites orbiting above your head are moving at 14,000 kilometers per hour relative to Earth's surface. At that speed, time dilation causes their atomic clocks to run slow by 7 microseconds per day. Meanwhile, those same satellites are 20,000 kilometers above Earth's surface, where gravity is weaker. In weaker gravity, time runs faster, 38 microseconds per day faster than on Earth's surface. The net effect: GPS satellite clocks run 31 microseconds fast every day because of relativistic effects. That sounds tiny, but light travels 300 meters in 1 microsecond. Without correcting for time dilation, your GPS would be off by 10 kilometers within 24 hours. Every time you get turn-by-turn directions, you're depending on Einstein's relativity to tell you where you are. And here's the part that will break your brain completely. According to Feynman's analysis of special relativity, if you could travel at 90% the speed of light, something extraordinary would happen to your experience of time. A 10-year journey at that speed would feel like 10 years to you. You'd age 10 years. Your clocks would tick normally from your perspective. But when you returned to Earth, you'd discover that 23 years had passed for everyone who stayed behind. At 99% light speed, your 10-year journey would correspond to 70 years on Earth. At 99.9% light speed, your 10 years would equal 224 years on Earth. You don't just slow down. Time itself slows down for you relative to the rest of the universe. But it gets even more disturbing. This time dilation isn't just about high speeds. It happens with any motion, no matter how slow. When you walk across the room at 2 meters per second, time passes more slowly for you than for someone sitting still. The effect is unimaginably small, about 10^17 seconds per second. But it's real, it's measurable with sensitive enough equipment, and it's happening to you right now. Every step you take through space is a step away from synchronized time with the rest of the universe. But wait, there's one final revelation that will destroy everything you think you know about the nature of time. Time dilation doesn't just occur because of motion, it occurs because of gravity itself. The deeper you are in a gravitational field, the slower time passes. Your feet experience time more slowly than your head because they're slightly closer to Earth's center, where gravity is marginally stronger. The difference is about 10^16 seconds per second, completely undetectable to human senses, but real nonetheless. As Feynman explored in Feynman Lectures on Gravitation, this gravitational time dilation explains something profound. Gravity isn't actually a force pulling you down, it's the curvature of spacetime causing you to move through time at different rates at different heights. You fall toward Earth because time passes more slowly near Earth's surface than it does higher up. You're not being pulled downward, you're following the natural curvature of spacetime toward regions where time passes more slowly. Right now, cosmic ray muons created 10 kilometers above your head are racing toward Earth at 99.95% the speed of light. Their natural lifetime is 2.2 microseconds, enough time to travel only 660 meters before decaying. There's no way these muons should reach Earth's surface. The math doesn't work. They should all decay in the upper atmosphere. But we detect them constantly in underground laboratories. Why? Because time dilation extends their lifetime from our perspective. Moving at near light speed, their 2.2 microseconds stretch into 70 microseconds of our time, long enough for them to reach the ground. From the muons' perspective, their lifetime is still 2.2 microseconds. But the atmosphere has contracted to just 300 meters thick due to length contraction, another relativistic effect. Either way you look at it, time dilation or length contraction, the impossible becomes possible through the warping of spacetime. According to Feynman's understanding of quantum mechanics, this flexibility of time has even stranger implications. In QED, the strange theory of light and matter, he showed that time dilation affects the quantum processes that make up your consciousness. The neurons firing in your brain right now operate through quantum mechanical processes that are themselves subject to relativistic effects. Your thoughts, memories, and sense of self exist within the relativistic framework of spacetime. When you remember something from your past, you're accessing quantum information encoded in neural patterns that experience time dilation effects during every moment of their existence. Your consciousness isn't just experiencing time, it's created by processes that warp time at the quantum level. But here's what really breaks your brain. According to general relativity, there's no such thing as now that applies everywhere in the universe. What you call now on Earth is different from now on a spaceship moving at high speed relative to Earth. Events that are simultaneous from one perspective occur at different times from another perspective. As Feynman wrote in The Character of Physical Law, the universe doesn't have a universal clock ticking away some absolute time. Time is personal, relative, and completely dependent on your motion through spacetime. You are not moving through time at the same rate as anything else in the universe. You are following your own unique path through the temporal dimension of spacetime, experiencing duration at a rate determined by your velocity and gravitational environment. The now you're experiencing as you read this sentence is not the same now being experienced by someone on the International Space Station, someone driving on the highway, or someone living at a different altitude. Let's return to where we started. Time doesn't flow the same for everyone. Does that make sense now? You're not experiencing some universal absolute time that flows the same everywhere. You're experiencing your personal journey through the temporal dimension of a four-dimensional spacetime that gets warped by motion and gravity. The clock on your wall, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the firing of neurons in your brain, all of it is happening within your personal reference frame, following your unique path through spacetime. When you synchronize your watch with someone else's, you're not aligning with absolute time. You're temporarily coordinating your personal time measurements while remaining on separate trajectories through the temporal dimension. Tomorrow, when you feel like time is passing normally, remember, you're experiencing what it feels like to travel through time at rates determined by your speed and gravitational environment. The flow you experience isn't time itself flowing. It's your consciousness moving along your personal timeline through four-dimensional spacetime, creating the illusion of universal temporal progression. You don't just exist in time, you create time through your motion, and every moment you experience is uniquely yours, happening at rates that depend on where you are and how fast you're moving through the cosmic spacetime framework. Time isn't flowing past you, you're flowing through time, and somehow, impossibly, beautifully, your consciousness has learned to experience that journey as the steady progression of moments you call now. Your time is yours alone, but that personal time has figured out how to love, dream, create, and wonder at the mystery of existing in a universe where every clock is running at its own rate. But here's the most disturbing part of all. This isn't just happening to you, it's happening to everyone, everywhere, all the time. Right now, astronauts on the International Space Station are aging 0.01 seconds less per year than people on Earth's surface. Athletes running at Olympic speeds experience time microseconds differently than spectators in the stands. Even the blood flowing through your veins experiences slightly different time rates than the bones in your skeleton because different parts of your body are moving at different speeds relative to Earth's rotation. The pilot flying overhead in a commercial jet is traveling through time at a measurably different rate than the passengers sitting still in their seats. Their atomic clocks would show the difference if they were precise enough. In particle accelerators like the Large Hadron Collider, subatomic particles are accelerated to 99.99999 net speed of light. At these speeds, time dilation becomes extreme. Particles that should decay in microseconds survive for milliseconds from our perspective, thousands of times longer than they should. This isn't theoretical physics, this is engineering. Particle accelerators are designed around time dilation effects. Without accounting for relativistic time changes, these machines wouldn't work. But it gets even more mind-bending when you consider what this means for the nature of aging itself. Every birthday you celebrate is really celebrating your personal accumulation of proper time, the time that has passed in your reference frame. But that proper time is different from everyone else's proper time. Identical twins separated at birth would age at slightly different rates depending on their lifestyles. The twin who travels more, lives at higher altitudes, or spends time in faster-moving vehicles would accumulate less proper time and age more slowly. The difference would be undetectable over a human lifetime. Maybe nanoseconds total, but it's real. Your lifespan isn't just determined by biology, it's determined by your path through spacetime. As Feynman understood, you're not just a biological organism living in time. You're a space-time event, a four-dimensional structure extending through both space and time. Your entire life is a single geometrical object in space-time. What you experience as the passage of time is your consciousness moving along this fixed structure, experiencing different cross-sections as now. Time isn't flowing past you. You're flowing through time. And somehow, impossibly, your consciousness has learned to experience that journey as the steady progression of moments you call your personal reality. And that might be the most incredible thing in the universe.